thank you to Despa58 for their support on Twitch.
Feels like we spend hours crushing and hauling rocks, loading them onto the minecart, pushing the cart to a cage for transportation, and unloading the rocks. About halfway through the pile, the foreman comes and drags Yao off somewhere for something else. The rest of the work goes even slower. I feel pretty uncomfortable by the time we clear the pile. The fur is ew, it's slick with sweat. There's a thin film of dust and debris on top of that. There's a stiffness in each clump of fur when I move. I desperately need to wash up. Nick, I'm starting to think that holding the spike wasn't so bad. Oh? This work is nasty. I haven't been this dirty for only a few hours' work since I worked in my cousin's slaughterhouse.
Is that so? You should expect for there to be a lot of dirt when you work beneath the ground.
I don't mind it when it's all around me. It's a different story when it's all up on me and sliding against me in places it probably shouldn't be.
Well, we can clean you up when the lunch whistle blows. But still, I would not bother. You will get dirty again in the afternoon anyway. Oof!
I see most of Nick's upper body lurch forward as he looks ahead, eyes widening with surprise. Then he lurches forward, nearly skipping to keep himself from toppling over. I have to put my hand in front of a mongoose who's yelling in a language that I don't understand to keep him from pushing Nick again. Then he starts pushing me. Hey, what's his problem?
I don't know!
I don't know who this is. I can't understand what he's saying either. Who is it? Blue Jay. Who the fuck is Blue Jay?
But I could probably guess. Your friend takes up most of the tunnel.
I look at the walls again. They're definitely exaggerating.
You can pass us by.
Badger steps by, pushing his back awkwardly against the wall and give the mongoose and Blue Jay room to run by. The mongoose does. Blue Jay doesn't. Nick sounds a lot more quiet than usual. His face is impossible to read.
Barely.
I don't know what this asshole's problem is. But he's definitely wasting our time. You gonna walk past or what? We've got things to do.
Everybody down here has things to do. Might be a hell of a lot easier if your foreign friend ate
Ooh. Fuck you, bro. If your foreign friend ate less, fuck off. Your mouth moves an awful lot for a party of one. And for somebody skinnier than most depictions of Christ on the crucifix. Blessed be his name. Fuck you.
You slow or something?
Please do not cause trouble on your first day, Sam.
Since when did I cause trouble? Blue Jay walks past us after all.
Hey, what's this?
Blue Jay snatches Nick's hat and looks at it, hopping several steps backward. Senseless, needless provocation by a random fuck who goes way too far immediately. So fucking obnoxious.
This looks like a fire hazard. I think Foreman Moore should have a look at this.
Nikolai has the Blue Jay against the wall. He's grabbing him with both arms, gripping tight, squeezing. Then he takes his hat back.
You will not touch that.
He grips both of Blue Jay's shoulders and slams him back against the wall.
Not now.
He slams into him again.
Not later.
He slams again.
Not ever!
He puts his hat back on his head, and the Blue Jay stumbles forward. I didn't notice until now, but Nick is actually heaving. Blue Jay has a dazed sort of look, like he's confused to be where he is right now. Then he shook his head like he was lost.
There's something going on over there.
Golden Retriever is standing behind us, walking up to the scene.
Is something the matter, Nate?
The Blue Jay just shakes his head and spits on the floor before turning to leave. He looks from Nick and to me, and his expression sours.
Oh, you again?
What about me again?
Now, I don't know what's going on, but I don't think we're off to a great start.
Come again?
Do you remember what your boss said? We do the work, we get paid.
If everybody can't figure out how to get along, we won't get anything done. And now I see two of our good workers at each other's throats this early in the week? Are you an instigator, Mr. Ayers? Now who the fuck is talking? Are you a Furman Keys? I don't fucking know. I've heard this voice before. From the prior night. Oh, hey! It was the bear from the stag. And the one Nick and Yao knew. Run along, Dimitri. This doesn't concern you. I don't remember what the fuck Dimitri's voice was.
And management certainly doesn't concern you. You're still not a boss.
Wait, he isn't? For some reason I assumed he was another foreman. That's really weird. I don't have to be a manager to care about the state of the men's morale.
But in a very real capacity, you are not qualified to be. Am I wrong, Keys?
I have seniority over this man.
And I have seniority and experience over you. Doesn't really mean a thing now, does it?
Well, maybe it should. Though I have to say there's a difference in having seniority as a grunt for 2 years versus having it for 10.
I'm happy where I am. We'll have to chat about how happy you are with your life in 8 years.
I have a hunch we won't be in contact by then.
You're still young. I wouldn't trust too many of your hunches. Like, for instance, that fist you threw last night with your thumb positioned beneath your knuckles.
Ben smacks the side of the mining cart. God damn, Ben really fucking went from manic, happy sounding guy to total asshole. Not here! Not today! Let's have a clean day today! I want some order on the 3rd floor!
Then control yourself and lead by example. After all, it's all that you can do.
There he goes. Ben chuffs as he walks away in a moody swagger.
You fellas all right?
Of course. Well, I am anyway. But Nick, I can't really say. He's staring at the ground and his arms are folded. I had never really seen him that intense before. At least not in that way. I've seen him emotional in private before, and he's told me that he's been in fights before, but I've never seen him grab a guy. Well, I guess he's grabbed me before plenty, but it wasn't like that. Something about that scared me. I hope he's all right. I guess I should be careful about touching his hat myself.
I need a moment to gather my thoughts.
A ghostly iron whistle blows through the tunnels.
Just take care to bring them to the mess area. You don't want to skip out on the best part of the day.
You'd think that would be going home.
That's at night.
Oh, that's true, I guess. The bear is holding his chest as he rolls out in bursts of laughter at his own joke. The kind of laughter reminds you of embers crackling in an autumn campfire.
I think you get what's important. But it doesn't sit right when somebody tells me you shouldn't find a way to be comfortable with a day of honest work. Trust me, when you get to a certain age, it's good to have something or other that keeps you busy.
I never had much trouble staying busy.
Neither did I. Until later.
Until later, and there he goes. He sends us a casual salute and wanders off down the tunnel.
I have held us long enough. I have held us up long enough. We should go.
I wouldn't be too concerned about me. I didn't pack anything to eat.
Oh, why would that make me less concerned? You must eat, Sam.
I've skipped lunch plenty of times before. More recently than before, to be honest. Some cornbread, collards, and pork would be nice about now.
We will ask some of the men to share. Or barter if we must.
The mess hall, which is more of a dimly lit cavern with stools scattered about it than a hall, has a row of iron lockers against the beam of earth walls. Nick walks up to a locker, twists the knob with a combination lock, and stores his tools inside while withdrawing a tin pail with a handle. There's a very small, very yellow duck discreetly painted on one side. I don't think I realized this before.
Realized what?
I shrug. You know, how much you like ducks.
There is nothing foul about a bathing waterfowl.
Nothing foul about a fowl. Okay. I stop walking. Excuse me?
That was the first sentence I learned in this country's language.
Oh. Think that makes more sense?
More sense than what?
The sentence being sentimental more than, I guess, really liking ducks.
What do you mean? I do like ducks, Samuel.
He sounds completely serious right now.
Everybody likes ducks.
He says it like that it's a fact rather than an opinion. I'm not sure whether I should laugh with the expectation that he'll join in too, or nod without cracking a smile. I go with the nod. I breathe in through my mouth and pretend to sneeze to mask that I'm trying not to laugh.
Bless you.
Thanks. I'm lucky that it's dark.
Good noon to both of you.
Even in the dim light, it's still hard to miss Yao's brilliant fur pattern. He's sitting on a bench, slicing a piece of cured meat onto a thick brown bread that's placed on top of his lunch pail. Tilt my head, looking for another small painting of a duck. And I feel stupid when I don't find one.
Are you all right?
He's hungry. I don't think he knew that he had to pack his own lunch.
I frown. I don't like this notion Nick had that it's a regular habit of mine to leer at somebody else's lunch like I'm a lunatic when I forget to prepare a meal. It sounds less crazy than the truth. That I was looking for a duck.
Here.
The tiger holds up a slice of bread and meat to me. Thanks, but don't feel pressured to offer me or anything.
I always pack more than I need.
Why?
Because this isn't the first time somebody's forgotten their lunch. Or had theirs stolen. When you're hungry and hundreds of feet beneath the ground, you might agree to more than you normally would when you're out of options. That's why we have to be ready to feed those who need it. Or barter with those who don't.
I ate the bread and meat Yao handed me, which was very good, but very salty. Was it Spam? Nick offers 2 hefty slices of kielbasa. I don't even know what that is. Okay, Google, what's kielbasa? What's kielbasa? Ah, it's a Polish sausage. Nice. I like sausage. We eat, filling one another in about the vents that we miss. Yao told us about how he had to replace one of the bands running the compressor so that they could get the rock drill running again. Nick mentions the fight, except he doesn't mention what happened with his hat. I don't know why this bothers him as much as it does. But it may not be my business to know. I mean, my assumption is that the hat comes from his family, but whatever. Or maybe they, gave their last dollar and starved to death so that they could buy him a hat. That'd be really fucking sad, wouldn't it?
Kielbasa!
I sit here and I wonder what would happen if I brought it up. Uh-oh.
Sam Myers.
The rumble of all the men's voices around me dampens under the foreman's booming voice, and I see a few heads turn in source of the direction. I flinch when I hear the foreman say my name, then scramble to my feet. Yes, sir. I can't see much. I can see a pair of glowing reptilian eyes staring at me from behind the clearing crowd of cramped bodies.
Come speak with me.
Nick whispers to me.
It'll be fine, Sam.
I want to believe that he's beaming a big warm smile at me as he says this, but truth is I can't even see his face clear enough anymore in the low light. The noise from the men starts up again as I move through the crowd. I can see the silhouette of the lizard jerking his head, and he wanders into a tunnel. It's pretty apparent from the motion of his tail that I'm supposed to follow. Takes me to a cage where there's a rather large crate sitting adjacent to the entrance. It's already been opened by a crowbar. What's this?
Easy enough.
He starts pulling items out of the crate.
Brand new pickaxe. And a hammer. Several spikes. A case full of dynamite. And some rope. And a card.
Card, sir. He unfolds a very nice piece of cardboard and clears his throat.
From one explorer to another. I hope you find what you're looking for, Samuel Ayers. Signed, James Hendricks III.
So it did come today. Beckett Moore is nodding at me. You're going to get a lot of people shitting on you, but you get all the cool stuff. You're getting favorable treatment, brother. You're going to get stabbed for that shit. This prison. Anyone who's lacked by the fucking guards or the prison system gets fucking stabbed in the face.
So it did. This, magnanimity.
It's of magnanimous, whatever.
Shall we call it, doesn't tend to happen around here.
He lowered his voice.
If any of my boys saw you get a complete set of sparkling new tools, you'd have made a bitter enemy out of every one of them.
What did I say? It's prison, motherfucker.
No, I don't know if Hendricks loves you or hates you, because this is a mixed message if ever I saw one. You honestly don't look like you're cut from the same cloth as most of the men down here. Save me the trouble and tell me your relationships. Save me the trouble and tell me your relationship to Hendricks. If you're one of his dandy friends, and this is some sort of bet to impress one another, I promise I don't care a whit, and I'll let you tend to your pride. But this is a dangerous area, and it's about to get a lot more dangerous.
I don't know what to say. I feel that I'm about to sputter. Sir, I don't know this Mr. Hendricks well at all, really. He just took a sudden shine to me. He's the reason I have a job here at all. I swear it. Beckett stares me down and nods.
If you're lying, it's a wild one. I believe you. Because you're a damn fool if you're down here for any other reason than you're a hard worker and you know how to exercise a considerable amount of care in an active shaft expansion. Let's get you set up with a locker. I'll store the extra tools so it won't look like you got them all at once. Then I'll pull you into action and see what you can do. Is all this agreeable to you?
Yes, sir.
That's what I like to hear. I'll carry half your equipment. Follow me for a while.
He walks me back to a small lean-to, disappears into it, and then reappears with a small slip of paper.
This is your locker combination. If you can't remember it, don't lose it.
8L, 16R, 3L. That's left, right, left. 8, 16, 3. So it's 8 double, and then, well, you can't, 3 isn't divisible, 16 isn't divisible by 3. So it's plus 8, minus 13. Cool. 863.
You can store what you aren't using for now, but you aren't gonna need most of it.
He guides me back to the mess hall and rings a big metal triangle.
All right, listen up, men. Team Red, I want you to keep extracting veins. Team Blue, I want you to work on the floor today. The smelters need extra hands. Team Yellow, and that's most of you, you just follow me east.
That's the team colors from Pokemon Go to the polls.
Taps me on the arm with the back of his wrist.
That's you.
I nod and hoist my things as a large crowd of men walks toward and past me. I look around for Yao and Nick, waiting to see if they're coming, but they're lost in a large crowd.
You coming, Ayers?
I still can't see them. Yeah. We walk for about 10 minutes until we come to the mouth of the tunnel that empties into an abrupt end. I bump into something hard and cold near and hear frantic flapping. Sounds like a little bird.
With the raw chisel back in action, we are going to make a long expansion of the eastward tunnel.
We still aren't drilling any vertical expansions. This was an edge. There was an edge in the tone of his voice.
As much as I don't like to second guess you, Beckett, Ben might have a point here. There's been an unusual amount of hazardous gases and water leaks at this depth. It's not the worst idea to try a different depth, I don't think.
The assayer.
The assayer told us that there's an unusually small amount recovered here from the expected concentrations in the water, so we're gonna keep digging. We got unlucky with the aquiclude once, but with the water table is so low in these parts, we don't have to fear more flooding. Unless there's more aquicludes at this depth? Or some stupid fucker drills diagonal and ends up straight into Emma, but I think we'd notice that.
A lot of the men laugh. A few of them just look confused and whisper in more languages that I don't understand. At least I'm not the only one here that feels a little lost.
Nate can help with the detonations.
And me, sir? The lizard pulled up his hat and scratched under his head.
Make sure the drill cord isn't damaged and assist Nate with the explosives.
The dog shifts the weight of his feet a little, as if he's expecting something else, but then he nods quickly. Sir, yes, sir.
Dimitri, you gather up the rest of the men and extend the rails. Easily done.
We're all told to wait outside the tunnel while another blast goes off. We duck and cover for 3 explosions, hauling the shattered bedrock out in small pieces. Ooh, that bunny is prepared for COVID. I noticed the rabbit from last night speak up. His Sonoran accent is a little thick, and that might be exacerbated due to the muffling of his handkerchief. I don't know what Sonora is. I don't know what accent it's supposed to be.
I'll go fetch the wood.
I don't know what the fuck Sonora is supposed to be. I'm sorry. Wolverine.
Of course you're fetching the wood.
Oh, God. Stout Wolverine is here, too.
Because you know it would take me longer to fetch the spikes.
I don't know how to do accents. I'm sorry.
You're the best at that.
The best? You always know just what to say.
2 of them went off. They're fucking. Are those 2 all right?
Those 2? Better than. That's their dynamic. They like to give each other shit.
Couldn't tell if it was tense or not.
You won't have that delusion for long. You'll know when Paul is angry.
Like last night?
So you do still remember us. Well, that's good.
Hard to forget after what happened.
Ben will have the hardest time forgetting, I imagine. They tossed him out of the stag for at least a week. He's bruised beneath the fur. But at least the poor boy's not limping. It's usually not so pretty after someone tries to take on Paul. Though looking at your muscles, you might stand a chance.
I'd rather not get on anybody's bad side.
And you won't, so long as you don't do anything dumb or dangerous.
That doesn't comfort me much.
Or egg us into overtime without demanding extra pay from the bosses.
The bear lets out a dark chuckle.
I don't think we're gonna see Ben try and pull that off again anytime soon.
The bear hands me an extra shovel.
We're gonna dig a straight through about 4 inches deep, so nothing too complicated.
Simple's fine for me.
So let's chat to pass the time while we work. What's your story?
I dig my shovel deep into the ground. I ain't got much of one.
Everybody has a story.
I'm literally reading yours! Who says you get to read mine? You first, then.
Well, unlike our friend Ben, I actually was a soldier.
For, Ruthania, right?
No, not for the Rust people. For this country. I emigrated when I was very young.
So how come you aren't there now?
After getting more than my fill of violence, I decided that I wanted to build more than I wanted to fight. And their engineering COs believed I was better on the battlefield than with a wrench. Of course, I did not take their advice to heart. So when my time was up, I finished for good, and I've been here since.
Must have been a boring change of pace comparatively.
You'll come to appreciate boring after the things I've seen.
He starts to whistle.
Though there are far more boring places to be than at the bottom of a mine.
This one boring you with his war stories.
The Jackrabbit and the Wolverine are back, each carrying a sack respectively. No.
Good, because he's a beast. A downright demon. Don't let his doleful eyes lure you into a false sense of security.
If you're gonna talk about my eyes, you could use any other word than doleful.
The Wolverine sets a big sack of metal tracks on the floor.
Mark my words. You watch yourself if you cross this old soldier. He knows death better than any of us. You end up between his paws and he'll shred your hide like it was warm butter.
Please do not mind Paul. He likes to lie on purpose.
As opposed to lying on accident.
Then there's a lie itself.
The Jackrabbit rolls his eyes.
All right, it's time to get back to work, boys. We can pack the earth down and place planks 2 boards apart. You can measure gaps with a ruler if you want, but this saves a lot of time and is just as effective.
Dimitri shows me how to put the rails together. Each iron piece is already designed to lock, and spikes driven through the holes, and spikes driven through the holes in the metal to bolt them down to the earth. By the time we have 20 feet of railing, I'm surprised that several hours haven't already rolled by. I'm surprised by how long this takes. He chuckles.
It will take longer if it's wrong, and we have to redo it.
I crouch down, hinging my knees, and wipe the sweat from my brow. As dark and dirty and dangerous as everything has been today, the experience has been, well, relatively normal. As far as I can tell, Nick and Yao keep one another safe. Maybe you're fine as long as you're not alone. And again, it's nowhere near the witching hour, even if it is underground. Foreman wants to see you, Ayers. Of course, this guy comes to me on the first break I'm taking. For what? Can't say, but you should come along now. All right. What's with the ominous music? Is Ben just taking us off to beat the shit out of us? I give my new coworkers a half wave by opening my palm. Be right back, and hopefully soon. They're a bit focused on their work to notice. It's strange to think that the tunnels we're walking down now is already about 10 times the length that it was when we started today. Stabilization beams that weren't there earlier are already finished. Beckett is sitting at the end of the tracks looking grumpy.
You keeping up with the work, Ayers?
Laying tracks ain't so bad?
Good to hear, good to hear. Unfortunately to me, the rock pick is shitting itself again, so we have to blow up the bedrock the old-fashioned way.
Oh no.
I want to see if you're capable at handling a controlled blast.
Oh, the lizard took a pick out of his pocket and placed it at an angle at knees height on the bedrock in front of us.
Pick up my sledge, Ayers.
I do. It's not the heaviest thing I've ever held, but it sure feels like it's trying to drag me down to the earth with its weight like nothing I've ever touched before. Sir, are you sure you should be the one holding the pick?
I don't see why not. Everybody has to at some point. I've done it before, and I'll do it again.
He's a novice, though. He could really mess up your hand.
Keys, you've been off all day.
Sir?
Why do you think I'm asking him to hold the sledge right now and not you? If he's going to work here, he needs to learn how to do this.
I'm sorry, sir. Oh, God. He's got a pickaxe. You're right, sir.
He looks at me. Put one foot in front of the other and bend your knees, then stare at the tip of the pick.
I follow his instructions as best I can. This better not be a quick time event, I swear to Christ.
Very good. Now lift the hammer.
It's so fucking heavy. Oh God, is this where it pays off? Oh, Jesus, Chekhov's hammer.
Easy as she goes, Ayers. Easy as she goes.
My palms are starting to sweat as I look at his scaled hands. Then I keep my eyes on the tip of the pick, like he says.
Now swing.
I hesitate.
Swing!
I bring it down to hear the crunch. Beckett rises from the floor. Oh, okay.
Perfect hit. Now you just tap it in, gentle-like.
I beat it into the rock, and Beckett nods again.
That'll do it.
I exhale.
This rock's as big.
Oh, God.
This rock's a big one, so we need another hole on the other side.
God fucking damn it. I know what's coming next.
I want you to hold the spike this time.
I feel numb as he explains what Nick had explained to me earlier. I still don't like the idea of this. I don't care how skilled or used to it somebody says that they are, but I tell myself what I did last time. It's only a week. Well, if you get fucking demolished, it's only a couple hours. Beckett points out the area he wants to steal driven, takes the hammer from me, gives me the spike. Place my hands where it's supposed to go. Wait for Beckett to get into position. Oh, God. Ben, fuck off. Hey, Mr. Moore.
Yes?
Let me drive the steel this time? What? What's wrong with this guy?
I don't think so, Case. You've been off all day.
I promise I'm not. Just let me show you that I can handle this. Besides, with the... Wait a minute. Oh, he like blinked. Okay, I was like, his face changed. Besides, with the pick and the compressor acting up this much, I'm gonna need help anyway.
All right, fine.
What? No, not fine. Should I say something? They think I'm just being paranoid about this man who, in total fairness, I would have put into a lot of inconvenient positions, though, through no fault of my own. Still, I swallow my own spit as I see this dog get into position and have the sledgehammer. Oh, Christ. I'm not comfortable. He gives me a nod and has a calm expression. Oh, my God. But then I see every muscle in his face furrow and tighten. His brow is tightly wrinkled. His eyeballs bulge with sudden force of white-hot anger that I can feel in my bones. Every instinct I have ever felt told me that I was in the presence of evil, that if I stayed still, I would die. As he begins to swing, I take 2 steps forward, and I can... Forward! Forward! Oh, he takes 2 steps forward. Okay, I thought we were stepping forward. I'm like, you're putting your body where the spike... He takes 2 steps forward, and I can tell that his eyes are not on the head of the spike. They're on my forearm. So I drop the spike and take 3 steps back as the sledge makes contact with the bedrock, cracking a good piece of it. Ben is looking at the hammer's head, almost surprised to see it hadn't made contact with anything. Beckett takes it from him.
What the hell was that stance?
Oh my God. Ben, Jesus. That's how I usually drive the steel in.
Are you sure?
The way Beckett phrased this didn't make it sound like much of a question.
That was sloppy, and that was reckless.
It's never caused any problems for me, with all due respect, sir.
I don't blame Ayers for dropping the I don't blame Ayers for dropping the spike. But Ayers, he exhaled. That was dangerous too. An impact with a sledge like that can cause a cave-in, or it could bounce off the rock and bludgeon your organs. I've seen both of those things happen.
He shakes his head again.
My gut was right about your state, Keys. I don't have time for mistakes like this.
There wouldn't have been a mistake if Nate was holding the spike, sir.
I am not interested in ifs. You're on beam duty. Ayers, you're back on rails.
Right away. Jesus Christ, who the fuck is this Ben? Start walking away as fast as I can. Something tells me that this man is looking at the back of my head, but I don't want to look behind me and meet his eyes if he is. I don't know what's wrong with this man, but I do know that I shouldn't be near him while we work. My heart is racing when I get back to Dimitri, Philippe, and Paul. Dimitri seems to notice that something is wrong and asks, but I don't address it, knowing that Ben is probably in earshot. I just want to be done with this day and work as quickly and quietly as I can. I don't have much energy or focus left by the time the last work whistle blows. I remember that Nick and Yao don't want us to be seen together when we're coming from or leaving work, so I don't bother waiting by the lockers and take the lift with Dimitri. He tells me that I should grab a drink at the Stag with the rest of the men, but I turn it down. It feels good to be welcomed, but it doesn't feel good to turn those people away when you have prior obligations. Oh, that sucks. What the fuck? Oh, it's the shower room. He introduces me to the washing stations, which is more or less one massive room with a shower. It's filthy, packed full of naked bodies, washing the soot and coal and the grime out of their fur. Are we about to have to censor this? Oh boy. The water's cold. The water cold! And the soap is scentless. My nose wrinkles when my fur turns color from gray to white. But it still feels good to be clean again. But when I leave the mines, I find joy in the fact that I can find Nick and Yao on the road walking slowly and discreetly.
Congratulations on finishing your first day, Sam.
And all without incident, too.
I grab both their sleeves and shake my head.
No, that isn't true.
I fill them in on everything. James's gift, Dimitri and Beckett taking a shine to me, Ben's reaction, Beckett's appreciation strained.
That chain of events concerns me.
It's hard to believe that Ben's ambition would push him to try something like that. But he still had not been promoted. Perhaps it was a long time coming. It was a mistake to let him part with us at lunch in the first place.
It would have been a bigger mistake to ignore Beckett's instructions for where we were supposed to be. If he's already suspicious of Sam's presence due to James's gift, we wouldn't want to implicate ourselves in that. Breaking protocol would make Beckett talk to James, and that's the last thing we want.
Fuck protocol! I want to protect my friend! We're not doing a good job!
I like you too much to be comfortable with you yelling at me like that, Nick. Nick, it's fine. I handled it myself, okay?
No! It is not okay, Sam! You should have stayed at the bunks during the day while Yao and I work. You're dirty, you're uncomfortable, you barely escaped an injury, and people want to harm you now!
Only one person does, I think. Maybe Ben was just having a terrible day and let his emotions get the better of him. No. That's not... No. Or maybe he just genuinely is an idiot and didn't mean any harm at all. No. I know that I'm crazy. I know that what I see and what I feel isn't always reliable, even if it feels real in the moment. I thought Nick was going to hurt me too. But I can't tell him that. Honestly, I don't know what... I don't entirely know what Hendrix wants. Honestly, I don't entirely know what Hendrix wants. But that's something I don't want to think about right now. One thing at a time. I took one thing at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime. Something about cars and stealing shit.
One person trying to hurt you is one person too many.
It's too late for me to suddenly quit. Besides, I still want to be down there. I made that choice myself.
But there is no reason for you to be down there.
He lowered his voice.
Especially now that you know how to extract ore.
There is a reason. I want to look out for you. Both of you. Yao knows. The badger turns his head to the tiger.
Yao knows what, precisely?
Uh-oh. The tiger inhales, then exhales.
There is some sort of aberration in the minds.
Nick looks to his friend, then to me with confusion, and his eyelids narrowed.
An aberration.
Word of the day, folks!
Here's the definition of aberration. A departure from what is normal, usual, or expected, typically one that is unwelcome.
Yeah, that describes most of the shit in this fucking series. He says the word extra slow and lets it hang in the air.
Aberration.
We both heard it.
I certainly heard something, though I cannot confirm what it was. Like I told your friend, it could be an animal, or it could be vapors affecting our judgment. I do not deny a possibility that it could be something else entirely. But I have to put forward what I believe to be the most likely truths.
I am confident that I can protect myself and Samuel from any natural or unnatural element in a mine. But I am not confident I can protect him from evil people. So this remains my concern.
Is there any way I can address that without quitting?
Only if there is a way for us to stay together. I want to be able to see you throughout the whole day.
We would all need to constantly be on the same team color when Beckett splits us up.
Couldn't we just ask him?
No.
Was he blushing?
He's blushing. Oh, he's blushy. He's a blushy boy.
No.
Out of the question. Moore takes his job very seriously. He considers knowing his men key to managing their positions. I am certain he will investigate tonight why James sent you a crate of new tools.
And I wish he'd tell me when he finds out.
I do not trust Beckett, but I do not think he means us harm.
Of course not. He needs to survive to bring Flynn into the world, which is coincidentally also the thing that haunts the town, kind of, in a way. I don't want to think about it too much. It'll give me a fucking headache that'll never end.
However, if he manages to connect that the three of us are associated, a lot of powerful men will also find out. Our grouping needs to be both assured and look coincidental.
So how do we do that without breaking protocol or being discovered?
There isn't a way.
Actually, there is.
What?
How? Why is he so mad?
Chang.
Oh. That's Sable from the tent who has dirt on me because I caught him smoking. I don't think he'll help me.
I think he will. There's something that he wants. Listen, let's return to the cabin. I will prepare
he used an abbreviation. Let's. Ooh.
I will prepare a letter for you. If you give it to him and have him read it, I know that he will cooperate.
And I will prepare dinner for all of us. There will not be voluntary starvation in my midst.
Aw, he's so sweet.